Imagine this. You wake up every single day, reach for your phone, and instantly get pulled into a glowing screen that feels almost alive. Notifications pop up one after another, each one demanding your attention. You check your messages, scroll through your feed, and consume content that has been carefully designed, not by you, but for you. You don't stop to question where it's coming from. You just keep scrolling, liking, sharing, laughing at a meme, maybe even getting angry at a headline. It feels natural, normal, almost automatic. But here's the uncomfortable truth. What you're seeing is not the full picture of reality. It's only a carefully edited version of it, a narrow slice of truth shaped by invisible hands, algorithms, advertisers, and platforms that decide what you should see, what you should ignore, and even how long you should pay attention. And while this might sound like a very modern problem, it is in fact an ancient one. Over 2,000 years ago, the philosopher Plato gave us one of the most haunting and timeless metaphors in human history, the allegory of the cave. In his story, a group of prisoners are chained inside a dark cave from birth. They cannot turn their heads, cannot move their bodies, cannot explore beyond the wall in front of them. Behind them burns a fire, and between the fire and the prisoners, figures pass by holding objects. These objects cast shadows on the wall, and the prisoners, seeing only those flickering shadows, come to believe that the shadows are reality. They give names to the shapes, they discuss them, they argue about which shadows are sharper or more real. Yet none of them has ever seen the objects themselves, nor the fire, nor the world outside the cave bathed in sunlight. For the prisoners, shadows are the truth. Plato's message was piercingly clear. Human beings often mistake appearances for reality. We accept the limited information handed to us without questioning what lies beyond it. In the allegory, the cave symbolized ignorance, the chains represented the habits and beliefs that keep us trapped, and the shadows were illusions, false realities that people cling to. Now here's where it gets fascinating. If we leap forward 2 millennia into our world today, Plato's cave hasn't vanished. It has simply changed shape. Our caves are not carved in stone anymore. They exist in our screens, news feeds, endless notifications, and algorithm-driven platforms. The shadows are not cast by fire, but by influencers, marketers, and carefully coded systems that decide what parts of the world we get to see. Instead of stone walls, our walls are glowing pixels, and instead of chains of iron, our chains are habits, addictions, and the illusion of choice. Think about how this works in practice. When you scroll on social media, the platform studies you. If you like one political post, it shows you 10 more that agree with it. If you click on a sensational video, you are nudged into a rabbit hole where similar content keeps appearing. If you engage with conspiracy theories, you'll be flooded with more of the same, pulling you deeper into a world that feels convincing, even though it's carefully filtered. Slowly, without realizing it, you stop seeing the full picture. You live in what is called an echo chamber, a digital cave where the shadows on the wall are carefully tailored to reflect your preferences and biases. And just like the prisoners in Plato's allegory, we begin to confuse these shadows with reality itself. We argue about them in the comments section, defend them against strangers online, and sometimes even fight over them in the real world. Yet step back for a moment, and you'll see that most of what we are consuming are fragments, headlines, memes, and half-truths, all designed to capture our attention, not to give us wisdom. This is where Plato's allegory feels almost prophetic. He was warning us about the danger of being trapped in illusions, and in our age, those illusions have become more powerful, more addictive, and more convincing than ever before. The average person spends hours every day staring at screens. But those screens are not neutral windows to the world. They are filters. They choose what we see. They highlight some truths and bury others. They decide what seems urgent, what seems entertaining, even what we should desire. We may feel like we are in control, but in reality, we are just watching shadows on a wall. We don't choose the shadows. the shadows are chosen for us. And if we don't question this process, if we don't make the effort to step outside, then we remain chained, just as the prisoners in the cave remained bound by their illusions. That is why Plato's allegory is so vital in the digital age. Stepping outside the cave today doesn't mean crawling out of a tunnel underground. It means breaking free from blind consumption. It means questioning the information you're fed, seeking truth beyond the algorithm, and challenging yourself to see the bigger picture. It means asking the difficult but necessary question: am I truly seeing reality, or am I only staring at shadows on a screen? And before we go further into this journey of uncovering modern caves and digital illusions, I want to pause for just a moment. If you find value in these kinds of deep explorations, connecting timeless philosophy with the challenges of modern life, then I invite you to be part of this journey with us. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and join our community of thinkers who are dedicated to breaking chains, questioning illusions, and searching for real truth in a world full of shadows. So what does it really mean to step outside the cave in our time? For Plato, it meant turning away from the shadows, breaking the chains, and walking into the light of truth, even if that light was painful at first. For us, it means something similar. Learning to recognize when we are being fed illusions, questioning the stories that our feeds and timelines present to us, and being brave enough to seek knowledge beyond the comfort of confirmation. The truth is, leaving the cave has never been easy. In Plato's allegory, when one prisoner finally escapes and sees the real world for the first time, the sunlight blinds him. The truth hurts. It forces him to confront how much of his life had been spent in darkness. And when he goes back to free the others, they don't welcome him. They mock him, they reject him, and some would even rather cling to the shadows than face reality. That part of the story is as relevant today as ever. Because when you step outside the digital cave, when you challenge misinformation, break out of echo chambers, or refuse to blindly follow trends, you will face resistance. People may laugh, criticize, or even attack your perspective. But as Plato reminds us, seeking truth is not about comfort, it's about freedom. Today, the light outside the cave might look like diversifying your sources of knowledge, practicing critical thinking, questioning headlines, and spending more time in real human experiences rather than only virtual ones. It might mean pausing before you share that viral post, asking yourself who benefits from this narrative, and daring to admit that maybe you don't have the full picture yet. Stepping outside the cave in the digital age is not about rejecting technology. It's about using it consciously instead of letting it use you. And that's the deeper lesson Plato left us with. Reality is richer, fuller, and far more complex than the shadows we are shown. If we have the courage to step outside, even when it's uncomfortable, we can begin to see the world as it really is, not as it is presented to us. So, as you move forward after watching this video, ask yourself, what caves am I trapped in? Whose shadows am I staring at? And am I brave enough to step into the light? If this exploration of Plato's wisdom in the digital age resonated with you, I encourage you to take that next step with us. Subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, and share it with someone you think might still be watching shadows on the wall. Together, we can build a community that values truth, reflection, and the courage to break free. Because at the end of the day, the world doesn't need more prisoners staring at shadows. It needs more seekers willing to walk into the light.